Who killed Sarah in Yellowstone? 3 theories on Jamie's best ally's murderer. If fans thought John Dutton IE's death in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 would severely complicate matters, they were in for a massive surprise when Sarah Atwood was murdered in Episode 11. The neo-Western drama TV show, created by Taylor Sheridan, has entered its endgame as it's reportedly ending after Season 5. So Sheridan and co. are going all out in the final episodes and killing off characters left and right. However, while the audience is mostly aware of who is behind John's death, the mastermind of Sarah's demise is more of a question mark heading into Episode 12. Sarah was a market equities representative who got close to Jamie Dutton to try to ruin his family. She almost got her wish when Jamie filed articles of impeachment against his father. Plus, during the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 premiere, Sarah orchestrated John's assassination and staged suicide. Just a couple of episodes later, though, Sarah was murdered. After a fight with Jamie, Sarah drove away from his house. At a stoplight, she was talking to Jamie on the phone, who had called to apologize, when another car pulled up next to Sarah, pretended to ask her for directions, and then shot her to death. Beth Dutton is one of the first names that instantly comes to mind when trying to figure out who planned Sarah's death in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11. Beth and Sarah have never gotten along. So after Sarah killed Beth's father, it wouldn't come as a huge surprise to learn that Kelly Relly's character orchestrated Sarah's murder. Beth wants revenge, and Sarah would undoubtedly be a part of her plans for vengeance. Sure, Jamie is number 1 on Beth's hit list. However, she knows Sarah had a hand in John's staged suicide, and given Beth's past, her killing Sarah in retaliation wouldn't be the most shocking or appalling thing the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 character has ever done. After watching Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11, The Hollywood Reporter sat down with Dawn Olivieri, who played Sarah, to discuss her character's journey and death in the Paramount Network series. While she didn't confirm who was the mastermind behind Sarah's death, one of Olivieri's comments might spoil that Beth is guilty. The actress said, "The train station refers to the location where the Duttons bury the bodies of their enemies." So, Olivieri mentioning the train station might suggest that Beth, a Dutton, hired the 2 people in the car to kill Sarah. The actress might have used the term figuratively to generalize the fact that Sarah was murdered. However, as mentioned above, Beth killing Sarah isn't the most outlandish idea, making her one of the top suspects in Yellowstone Season 5's shocking death. Perhaps the most obvious suspects in Sarah's murder, at least after the events of Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11, are the assassins she hired to kill John. During 353, Case Dutton arranged for the medical examiner to look over John Dutton's body again. With Case's help, the medical examiner ultimately determined that John's death could have easily been a staged suicide. So the case was publicly reopened, and Kevin Costner's character's cause of death was changed from suicide to undetermined. The company Sarah contacted to assassinate John might have gotten spooked by this sudden change in the investigation and sent people to take care of Sarah. The hired hitmen could have easily turned on Sarah to protect themselves. Plus, Episode 11 showed Grant, the man Sarah met with in Episode 9 who represents the Hitman Company, watching the news announcing the twist development in the case of Kevin Costner's John's Yellowstone death. Grant then called someone and asked them, "You watching this?" He could have easily sent someone to get rid of Sarah. The only problem with this theory is how sloppy Sarah's murder was out in the open at a stoplight, compared to John's carefully orchestrated staged suicide. The 2 deaths are completely different, possibly implying that someone else planned Sarah's demise in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 11. Another suspect in Sarah's death in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 is the company she works for, Market Equities. Similarly to the hitman theory, the change in John's cause of death might have scared Market Equities, causing them to take drastic measures to protect themselves. So the company's higher-ups took it upon themselves to hire assassins to kill Sarah in an attempt to separate themselves from her actions. Market Equities' first priority will always be protecting the company. If anyone learns that one of their own was involved in the assassination of the governor of Montana, Market Equities would be ruined, foiling all its plans for the state. Market Equities executives might be the weakest suspects in Sarah's murder in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. However, them taking out Dawn Olivieri's Yellowstone character would still make sense. The world of Yellowstone is no stranger to betrayal, bloodshed, and political warfare. From land disputes to power struggles within the Dutton family, the series has consistently kept fans on the edge of their seats. But perhaps one of the most shocking turns yet is the apparent murder of Sarah Atwood, Jamie Dutton's cunning and ruthless ally. With her sudden and mysterious death, the question looms: who killed Sarah and why? Here are 3 compelling theories on the identity of her murderer. Theory 1. Beth Dutton. A ruthless act of elimination. Beth Dutton has never been one to shy away from eliminating her enemies, especially when they threaten the integrity of her family or her own ambitions. From the moment Sarah Atwood entered the picture, Beth saw her as a dangerous manipulator, seducing Jamie into her web of corporate warfare and personal influence. The 2 women had an intense and bitter rivalry, culminating in heated confrontations and thinly veiled threats. Beth has made it clear that she would do anything to protect the Dutton legacy, and Sarah was one of the biggest threats to that. If Beth discovered that Sarah was furthering Jamie's plans to take down John Dutton and solidify his own power, it's possible that Beth took matters into her own hands. Whether through a well-orchestrated accident or a more direct approach, Beth has both the motive and the capability to execute a high-stakes murder. After all, she's proven time and time again that she isn't afraid to get her hands dirty. Theory 2. John Dutton. A quiet but deadly power move. While John Dutton prefers to play the long game, he isn't above making the tough decisions when it comes to protecting his land and family. Though he initially hoped Jamie would stay loyal, Sarah Atwood's influence over him made that nearly impossible. With Sarah whispering in Jamie's ear and pushing him to challenge John's reign, it's entirely plausible that John saw her as a liability that needed to be dealt with. John has access to a vast network of resources, including Rip Wheeler and the infamous train station, where problems disappear. If John ordered Sarah's murder, it's likely that it was done in a way that ensured no direct trace to him. A hit disguised as a robbery, a fatal encounter that looked like an accident. John knows how to make someone vanish without raising suspicion. And with his back against the wall, Sarah's removal may have been his only option. Theory 3. Jamie Dutton, a desperate betrayal. Perhaps the most shocking and ironic possibility is that Jamie himself was responsible for Sarah's death. As much as Sarah was his strongest ally, she also wielded immense control over him. Her promises of power and independence were intoxicating, but Jamie has never been known for his unwavering loyalty. His relationship with Sarah was built on mutual gain rather than genuine trust, and that could have been their downfall. If Jamie began to see Sarah as more of a liability than an asset, perhaps fearing that she would eventually betray him, or that aligning with her had put him in even greater danger, he may have chosen to eliminate her. Jamie has killed before, and when pushed into a corner, Eve has shown a willingness to do whatever it takes to survive. If Sarah had outlived her usefulness, or if Jamie felt that she had deceived him, It's entirely possible that he turned on her in a moment of desperation. The aftermath and implications. Regardless of who kills Sarah, her death is bound to send shockwaves through the world of Yellowstone. If Beth was responsible, it could escalate the already deadly feud between her and Jamie. If John orchestrated it, Jamie may finally reach his breaking point, severing ties with his family for good. And if Jamie himself was the culprit, it could signal a dark new chapter for his character, one where he fully embraces his ruthless side. No matter what, Sarah Atwood's murder isn't just another crime. It's a pivotal event that could shift the power dynamics in ways that no one expects. As the truth unravels, one thing is certain: in Yellowstone, no one is truly safe.